Lily, when are you coming here for Christmas?
Good evening, Evelyn. I'm planning to come on December 24th, sometime around 1 or 2 in the afternoon.
Oh, I see. But can't you come a little earlier? There's so much to do at the end of the year. Even though you're my younger son's wife, you still need to take responsibility for your role as the first son's wife, especially since Sam is still single. You can't expect to relax just because it's still 2 months away. This is a time-sensitive matter. You should have been planning ahead.
I'm sorry, Evelyn. My last day working is on the 23rd. That day is the official end of the year for my company, and I also have to finish up some handovers for my team.
Oh, that's right. I completely forgot that you're retiring at the end of the year.
Yes, that's correct. The retirement process has taken up a lot of my time, so I won't be able to arrive earlier. That's why I'll come home on the 24th, so I hope you can understand and bear with me.
Well, I'll let it slide this time. However, I'm still curious. Does this mean Jacob is coming home before you? His company always finishes up on the 22nd, right?
Did Jacob not tell you about that?
What do you mean?
Jacob got a transfer order and his work schedule has changed. He's been caught up with the preparations for the move, and unfortunately it's affecting his plans for the end of the year.
Oh, really? That's rather sudden.
Yes. Apparently a vacancy opened up in a very important position at his new posting, and Jacob was selected to fill that role. He's been frantically preparing to take over and complete all the handovers before the year ends. He's really swamped with work right now.
An important position? Oh, that sounds like a promotion. So did he get a raise in his salary as well?
Yes, exactly. He did get a promotion, which means his responsibilities have increased significantly. His salary should also have gone up to reflect the new role.
So with this promotion, his salary has increased as well? Oh, you must be very proud of him.
Yes, definitely. But to be honest, the reason you haven't heard from Jacob yet is probably because he's been so busy. He's trying to juggle everything at once, and I think he hasn't had the time or energy to contact you, especially with the move and the new position. That's why he won't be able to make it back this time.
Oh my, I see. Well, that's excellent news. With Jacob's promotion, not only will Sam's future be more secure, but our retirement plans are looking even better. It seems like everything is falling into place for us. I'm glad to hear that Jacob is doing well professionally. As for his delay in notifying me, I'll overlook it just this once.
Thank you for your understanding.
But you should still remember that there are things left for you to take care of. Don't think I've forgotten about the tasks you're supposed to complete. I don't want to hear any excuses about running out of time or leaving things unfinished when Christmas Day arrives, okay?
I understand. I'll make sure everything is done. Could you kindly remind me again of the tasks assigned to me?
Of course. First, you need to clean all the rooms on the second floor. Then you need to clean around the kitchen sink area, the bathroom, and the toilet. Afterward, you'll be responsible for preparing dinner for the family.
Got it. I will make sure to come early on the 24th to get everything in order. I'll make sure to get started right away so everything is ready for the Christmas day.
That's what I expect. Don't make excuses about not having enough time. You know how busy things can get around the holidays, so you need to manage your time well. It's important to have everything ready, especially since the family will be here to celebrate. I'm sure Jacob will appreciate the effort.
I completely understand. I'll be sure to stay on top of things. It's just that with the retirement and everything, I feel a bit overwhelmed at times, but I will manage. I won't let anything fall through the cracks.
Well, I understand that you've been going through a lot with the retirement, but this is something that has to be done. You know how important it is to keep up the family traditions, and Jacob's promotion just adds more to the significance of this year's holiday. We want to celebrate properly, so everything must be perfect.
Yes, I completely agree. I will do my best to ensure everything is done well so that the family can enjoy the Christmas together. It's an important time, and I want to make sure everyone is happy.
That's the right attitude. I'm glad you understand. But you also need to remember that the tasks I've assigned to you should be completed with care. This is a time to show your dedication to the family and your role as part of it. Even if you're retiring, you still have responsibilities, and I expect them to be taken seriously.
Of course I take my responsibilities seriously. I won't let anyone down, especially not Jacob and the family. I understand the importance of Christmas time, and I want everything to be perfect.
I'm glad to hear that. We'll need all hands on deck to make this a memorable and successful holiday. It's not just about the cleaning and cooking, it's about the spirit of togetherness and honoring Jesus' birth. So make sure to give it your all.
Thank you, Evelyn. I will definitely give it my all. I want to contribute as much as I can to making this holiday special for everyone. I'll make sure the house is spotless, the meals are delicious, and that everything goes smoothly.
Good. I'm sure Jacob will appreciate everything you do, and he'll be proud of how well everything turns out. I know he's been under a lot of pressure with his new position, but with your help, we'll make sure this holiday is one to remember. I'm counting on you, Lily.
Thank you for trusting me, Evelyn. I won't let you down.
Lily! When I woke up, you were already gone. Where on earth are you wandering around so early in the morning? You were supposed to stay home, Lily. Come back right now.
Merry Christmas, Evelyn.
What are you talking about? You left everything half finished without completing what I asked you to do.
I finished everything you asked me to do.
No, you didn't. You didn't make dinner.
Did you not check the plastic box I left for you?
What are you saying? You've been in the kitchen cooking? The only thing I saw was you preparing yesterday's meal and making the cake.
The dinner is already in the refrigerator.
What? In the refrigerator?
I realized that doing everything on the 24th would be too much, so I decided to make the meal at my house and bring it over instead.
I checked the refrigerator just now. Lily, do you think this is enough food?
What do you mean? I thought it would be enough. It's enough for 3 people, right?
What? What are you talking about? It's Christmas with 5 people. There's me, my husband, Sam, Jacob, and you. That's 5 people. Well, if you and Jacob aren't coming, I guess it's fine. Oh, right. When is Jacob coming back for the holidays? He has to give Sam his Christmas gift again, you know. I think $2,000 should be appropriate. When he comes here, whether in cash or through a transfer, I expect $2,000. You should let Jacob know. Also, my husband and I were planning a resort trip next month, and we could use about $1,000 for that.
Jacob won't be able to come home this year.
What? Why?
As I mentioned earlier, his work transfer and handover duties are keeping him busy at the end of the year.
Oh, I see. By the way, you've quit your job, so I assume you're receiving a retirement payout?
Yes, I am.
In that case, you should give Sam $2,000 this year as well. And of course, the $1,000 for our trip. Actually, maybe you should give us more, considering everything that's been going on.
Why is that?
Ever since you've been with Jacob, he's become hesitant to spend money. You've disrespected both his parents, especially Sam, who's the older brother. It's only natural for us to expect something from you, especially since you're now part of this family. Let's see, I'll double the amount I mentioned earlier. So now you need to give us a total of $6,000.
I'm sorry, but I don't have time for this right now.
Lily, listen. I know it's only been 2 months since you got married, so you might not feel it yet, but you are now a part of this family. You need to prioritize the things we ask of you. Anyway, I can't have a proper conversation through messages, so come back here quickly. Oh, and I just remembered, we're out of bread. You should buy some while you're at it.
Excuse me, but...
What is it? If you're about to make excuses, I don't want to hear it.
No, that's not it. Has Jacob not contacted you yet?
What are you talking about?
Jacob is overseas.
Overseas? Is he on a business trip or something?
No, it's not that. As I mentioned before, his transfer involves a branch overseas.
What?
The vice branch manager at the overseas office had to return for family reasons, and Jacob was asked to step in as a replacement. He's been there since mid-December for the handover process.
What? I didn't know anything about this.
Oh, I see. I assumed Jacob had already told you. I should have been the one to inform you properly. My apologies.
What's going on? So Jacob is overseas now for work? You should have told me all the details about this. Come back right now. How many times do I have to tell you this? You clearly don't understand your role as a wife. If Jacob's staying overseas, then it's settled. Lily, you should move in with us now. I'll make sure to properly train you in your duties as a wife. You'll undergo some strict lessons, so get ready for that.
Evelyn, excuse me?
What is it now?
I'm sorry to interrupt your excitement, but I'm not coming back to your place.
What?
I'm at the airport right now.
The airport? Are you planning to spend Christmas with Jacob?
No, not exactly. I'm heading to his new home overseas to be with him.
What? What do you mean?
As I said, I'll be living with Jacob overseas.
What do you mean? I haven't heard anything about this.
I assumed Jacob had already informed you, but I'm sorry if that wasn't the case. However, I can't change my plans now.
Wait a minute, you suddenly quit your job because of this?
Yes, because Jacob's transfer was suddenly decided. Considering our future and the possibility of having children, we thought it would be better for both of us to go together rather than for Jacob to be sent alone. That's how we decided to do it.
How long will you be staying overseas?
Well, Jacob's being considered for a future position as the company president, so it seems like it'll be permanent in the future. I'm expecting it to be a permanent move.
Wait, what about Sam? Who's going to take care of us in our old age?
What? Your old age? Isn't that Sam's responsibility as the older son?
But Sam isn't working, is he? It would be cruel to make him work at 36 years old. So we planned to have you and Jacob take care of us in our old age. That's the plan, right?
I'm sorry, I have to turn off my phone for the international flight, so I have to go now.
Wait, hold on. Don't go. Lily, please don't do this to me.
I'm sorry, Evelyn, but my mind is made up. This decision has been in the works for a while, and it's something Jacob and I have discussed thoroughly. I can't keep pretending that I can live my life under your rules. This is about our future, and I need to stand by him now.
But what about us, Lily? What about the family? You can't just leave everything behind. Sam, my husband, and I have been here for you.
I understand that, but this isn't about abandoning you. I'm not turning my back on you. Jacob and I have to build our life together. You know how hard it's been for him to be away from home for this long. This is a huge opportunity for us, and I can't pass it up. I know it's hard for you to understand, but I have to live my own life now, Evelyn.
But we're family, Lily. We take care of each other. You can't just leave Sam here, especially now that he's getting older. And what about me? Who will take care of me in my old age?
You've always had Sam, Evelyn. He's the one who's been there for you, but I can't just stay behind out of obligation. Sam is a grown man now, and it's his responsibility to figure out his own life. As for you, I'll still care for you, I promise. But Jacob and I have our own life to build, and we can't keep putting everything on hold for others. Now, I really have to go. The flight attendant just told me to put my phone into airplane mode, so goodbye.
Lily, please don't go. Lily!
After that, things took a turn with my in-laws. My mother-in-law and the rest of the family, having lost their source of financial support in Jacob, went to his company to demand that his overseas assignment be canceled immediately. They went in person to confront the company, demanding that they pull the plug on Jacob's assignment abroad. Naturally, they were met with cold indifference and turned away at the door. The company was not interested in their requests and made it clear that they would not entertain such demands. It was a humiliating experience for them, but they were not deterred. Even though they were rejected, they continued to make a scene, causing enough of a disruption that the authorities were eventually called. From what I heard, the police had to intervene, and they were taken away. It was a clear indication that they had overstepped their bounds in their attempt to control Jacob's life. Jacob, my husband, was the second son in his family. In Japan, it's common for the second son to be treated as the family member who's expected to care for the parents, often taking on a role of financial support, especially in families where the firstborn son is already responsible for the family business or other matters. Jacob, unfortunately, had been raised as what is sometimes referred to as a sacrificial child. This means he was expected to give up his own independence and needs to serve his family's demands. For many years, Jacob had been nothing more than a puppet in his family's hands. He followed their orders without question, dutifully handing over money whenever they asked, convinced that this was simply what was expected of him as their son. He had been living his life under their thumb, trying to keep the peace and fulfill the role they had imposed on him. But despite the fact that he was constantly providing for them, it never seemed to be enough. There were always more demands, always more expectations. I knew it was hard for him to break away from their influence. He had grown up believing that his happiness wasn't as important as meeting his family's expectations. But I knew there was more to him than the role they had assigned him. I kept telling him over and over again that it didn't have to be this way. He didn't have to live a life dictated by others. He had the right to be free, to make his own choices, and to live for himself. I repeatedly reassured him that he didn't need to live as a slave to their wishes and that he deserved to lead his own life on his own terms. But breaking free from that mental and emotional conditioning wasn't easy. It took time, but little by little, Jacob began to understand that he had the right to say no, to stand up for himself, and to create a life that was truly his own. Then the opportunity for an overseas assignment came up. It was something Jacob had always dreamed of, but had never been able to pursue because his family's demands had always come first. However, with the push of encouragement from me and his growing realization that he deserved more, Jacob saw this as a chance to cut the final ties with his family. It was the perfect opportunity to leave behind the stifling grip of his parents and create a life where he and I could live without the constant pressure of their expectations. The timing couldn't have been better. The overseas assignment was the catalyst that allowed Jacob to break away from the toxic cycle that had defined his relationship with his family. Just as the new year began, Jacob made the decision to sever ties with his in-laws once and for all. We moved forward with our lives, leaving behind the emotional and financial burdens they had placed on him. Since then, we've been living a much more peaceful and stress-free life abroad. We've settled into a routine, and Jacob is starting to adjust to his new life, one that is far removed from the constant pressure he faced at home. We found a balance that works for us, and every day feels like a new chapter. We're able to focus on each other and our future together without the constant interference of family obligations and demands. The weight that had been on Jacob's shoulders for so many years has finally started to lift. He's no longer the person he once was, a puppet bound to his family's whims. Instead, he's free. Free to be himself, free to make his own decisions, and free to live the life he and I have always dreamed of. Living abroad has allowed us both to grow, both individually and as a couple. We've been able to step out of the shadow of his family and build our own life without constantly looking over our shoulders. There are still moments when we reflect on the past, but we don't let it define us. We've learned from our experiences, and we've built a future where we can be happy and stress-free, enjoying the peace that comes with true independence. We're finally able to enjoy each day without fear of the next phone call or visit from his family. It feels like a fresh start, and we're embracing it all. We've found a new rhythm, one where we can live for ourselves, make our own decisions, and continue to grow as individuals and as a couple. Our life abroad has become everything we hoped for, peaceful, fulfilling, and full of possibilities.
The year-end party is over. I'm so drunk I can't walk, so I'm staying at a colleague's place tonight. I'll head back in the morning tomorrow. Can you make sure to clean the house up so that it's spotless before I'm home tomorrow?
All right, understood. Just try not to cause too much trouble, okay? We've received enough complaints now, and I can't take any more regarding you.
I know. By the way, I was talking to my boss today about something. It's about my parents.
Your mom and dad? What did he say?
Well, it's not like he said anything bad, but a few years ago the company went bankrupt and Dad became bedridden, right? And Mom's been taking care of him. He said, "It must be tough for your mom."
Yeah, that's true. Your mom is already over 70, so it's basically elderly care for elderly people. Even though a home care nurse comes, I bet it's still really tough on her.
Right, you think so too, don't you? She's pushing herself hard, poor Mom. At this rate, Mom might even collapse too. I'm really worried thinking about it.
Yeah, I can see why you'd be worried.
So, I was thinking about something. Since it's tough on Mom, do you think you could take over the caregiving for a while?
Huh? What do you mean, take over?
I mean, go to my parents' house. I want you to take care of Dad instead of Mom. Mom can't keep doing this forever. And if you go, Mom could have a bit of a break and we'd all feel better about it, right?
No, wait a second. You're just saying that so casually, but that's impossible. It takes 5 hours by plane to get to your parents' house. That's not a distance you can travel frequently. And even if we decide you'll go a few times a month, getting involved halfway might just end up being more of a hassle.
You don't even have to commute from here, just move over there.
Huh?
If you don't want to get involved halfway, then it'd be better to move and take over the caregiving full time, right? I'm fine with living alone for work.
Living alone? Are you saying I should go live at your parents' house while you stay here?
Well, I have work here, and I think it would be best if you go. Yeah, that sounds like the best option. If you stay at my parents' house, then we won't have to rush over if something happens.
But I have work too.
It's just part-time, right? Why don't you quit?
Quit? Just because it's part-time doesn't mean I can quit easily. It's tough with the staff shortage.
But it's not like you can't quit. You could totally do it. Don't worry, it'll be fine.
Don't say it like it's nothing. What about the housework once I go to your parents'? Dan, you've never made a proper meal before. And what about the kids? Do you think you can take care of both of them on your own?
Oh, right. You could just bring them with you, can't you? It's a relaxing place, and the kids will probably enjoy it. I remember when we brought them to my parents' house last time. They had fun, didn't they?
It was just a 2-night stay during summer vacation. If we're talking about moving there, that's a completely different story. There's no hospital, no middle or elementary school nearby, and no trains.
How are you going to raise 2 kids there and care for your dad, too, all by yourself?
Well, Mom can help out. If you go to the next city, there are hospitals and schools, and there's a car at my parents' house, so it'll be fine. Dad will get better seeing his grandkids every day, too. It's all good, right?
That's not realistic, I'm telling you. The kids are in 6th and 5th grades. They're working hard for high school entrance exams. You want to uproot them just because you had some idea? They have lots of friends here, and they're really motivated to go to the same middle school as their friends. You know that, right?
But I've been thinking for a while now. Is there really any point in making elementary school kids take entrance exams? You're pushing them too hard with the exams. I think they're stressed. Maybe they'll feel better if we move to the countryside and get rid of some of that stress.
Stress relief? Yeah, but they'd be more stressed out if they can't go to the school they want and everything changes suddenly. The whole point of the entrance exams is what the kids want. They want to play soccer without having to take high school exams. And that's something you should let them do without interfering.
But it's impossible for me to live alone with the kids. I can't do any of the housework, and I don't know anything about school stuff. So don't you think it's only fair if you go with them?
That's why I'm saying I won't go. If your parents come here, that'd be another story.
Moving your bedridden father around sounds tough. That's not realistic either, is it? Do you think your mom and dad can fly 5 hours?
No way, right? It'd be much easier if you went.
It's not about what's easy or not. Taking the kids and going all the way to the countryside just to take care of your dad? That's just crazy.
It'll be fine. Mom knows all about the paperwork and stuff. If we just go, we'll figure it out somehow.
In the end, you're just leaving everything to your mom and me. You say you want to ease your mom's burden, but you're just adding to it. You want to stay here, enjoy yourself, and pile all the work on me and your mom and the kids. That's unbelievable.
Why are you complaining so much? What is it? Do you not want to take care of my parents? You're just talking about how difficult it is, but is that all?
That's not it. I've thought about living with your parents if it ever gets too hard for them, but I've never considered just me and the kids moving there. It would be a burden on them, and I've said it's impossible for us to go now. Besides, I don't understand how you're just completely avoiding responsibility for your parents.
I'm not avoiding responsibility. I'm just working hard here, and I expect you to take care of the caregiving. It's just a matter of dividing the roles.
That's your decision to make the roles based on your own convenience. What about my convenience? What do you think our lives are?
Once you get married, you're supposed to compromise with your partner. If things don't go exactly as planned, you can't get angry. Besides, childcare and caregiving are the wife's job, right?
I am speechless. Forget it. Seems like it's pointless to talk to you. Please make sure you send the child support.
Oh, so you finally understand. Don't worry, I'll send the money. We should act quickly. Let's move next weekend. Pack up your stuff and the kids' stuff. Let's start preparing. Good night.
You really only think about what's convenient for you, you idiot.
Hey, where are you right now? When I got back home, all the things I had packed were completely gone. Everything was missing. Did you seriously head to your parents' house already? We had agreed to move next weekend, didn't we? You know, we had a plan in place. I wanted to see you off. I even planned to give you a proper farewell, but now I'm seeing you've jumped ahead of everything. You should have waited. This is a bit too hasty, don't you think?
I'm already here at my parents' house. The kids are with me as well.
What? You're already there? Wait, I haven't even told Mom that you and the kids were coming to stay. You must have really surprised her, huh? It must have been such a shock. How did it go? Is she happy to see you? Did she take it well?
I honestly don't understand what you're talking about. We haven't gone to your parents' house. We are at my parents' house right now. The kids and I have settled in here.
Huh? Why are you at your parents' house? Oh, I get it. You're visiting them since we won't be able to meet for a while? Is that why you came all the way here? For a little break before we actually move?
That's not it. I've moved in with my parents, and I'm here because I'm getting ready for a divorce. It's happening now.
Wait, what? Divorce? What do you mean divorce? Are you serious? Are you out of your mind? Why are you suddenly saying something like that? After everything, this is where we're ending up?
I can't do this anymore. I am done. I've had enough of trying to make this work. You keep trying to sacrifice my happiness and my children's future for the sake of just your parents. You never listen to what anyone else has to say, and you keep pushing your opinions like they are the only ones that matter, as if that's how it should be. It makes me sick to my stomach. You're even trying to ruin the kids' exams, which is so low, I can't even believe it. If you keep on like this, I'll have no choice but to get a divorce. I have reached the breaking point.
Wait, no, hold on a second. What are you even talking about? All I asked was for you to help my mother. Don't you think my parents are in need? Don't you feel bad for them at all? Why are you so quick to turn your back on them? What's wrong with helping out a little bit?
You're mixing things up. I do feel bad for your parents, of course I do, but that's not the issue here. I am not responsible for fixing things for them, and neither is the rest of the family. This is your responsibility. They are your parents. Why am I the one being asked to take on all of this? And now you're going to rob the kids of their dreams for the sake of your parents' situation. Do you really think that's okay? As a parent, I have to ask, what kind of person does that? What kind of parent would take away their own kid's future like that?
So what? You're telling me that you're just going to abandon my parents for the sake of your children's dreams? They're so young! Why do they even need to worry about middle school entrance exams? I never had to go through that pressure, and none of my classmates had to deal with this either. This is all overblown.
That's not the point. The problem is that you didn't try to find a balanced solution. You could have looked into different options, but instead you chose to put all the responsibility and the burden on me and the kids while ignoring your own family's needs. You never even considered finding a better facility for your mother. You didn't think to look into support programs or other solutions. You just assumed I'd take care of everything for you. Honestly, I am just so disappointed. The kids were upset when I told them about all of this. They started crying, and it broke my heart. They don't want to leave their friends behind. They want to focus on their studies and take the entrance exams. You have to understand, things are different now. The world is different from when you and I were their age.
But my mom is in such a bad situation. She needs help. Don't you get it? She'll be devastated if she finds out you've completely shut her out like this. Are you really gonna turn your back on her like this? Taking care of your in-laws is your duty as my wife. That's the right thing to do.
Enough already. This whole situation is just an excuse for you to manipulate me and treat me like a tool that's supposed to serve your needs. I am not here to be your pawn, and I am certainly not here to be used for your convenience. If you think the kids are going to pick up on all this, you're wrong. If they see how you're acting, it is going to influence them negatively. They'll learn to be selfish, and that is the last thing I want for them. I've made up my mind. I am done. The divorce is going to happen. This isn't going to work anymore.
Why? Why are you doing this? Why can't you just listen to me for once? Do you really think that you can raise the kids alone, just by yourself? You're a part-time worker. You can't possibly handle everything on your own. How are you gonna pay for their exams and all the other expenses? You're the one who's gonna ruin their future, and you're not even seeing it.
You promised me child support, right? You promised that we'd figure it out. I am going to find a job, and my parents will help me. I'm going to make it work. It's going to be okay. So stop acting like everything's falling apart. It's not that big of a deal. I'll handle it.
Fine. Then let's try to figure out a way for your parents to come here. I know it's gonna be a bit tough, but it's probably the best thing for everyone involved. I'll talk to Mom about it, see if we can come up with a plan. Just please try to calm down a little. Can we please just talk and work this out?
Don't you understand? This isn't about your parents. That was just a trigger. What I'm telling you is that I don't trust you anymore. I don't feel comfortable anymore, and I can't keep living like this. I've made my decision. I am done. I am going to have a lawyer handle everything from now on. I don't want to talk to you directly anymore. You'll hear everything from them. I'll send you the lawyer's contact details, and you can talk to them directly.
What? You're really going to do this? You're gonna go behind my back and make decisions without even talking to me? No, wait, this isn't right. You can't just cut me off like that. I don't want a lawyer involved. Please, just think about it for a minute. We can still figure this out. We're a family. We can find a way to make this work. Just come back. Let's sit down and talk one last time.
I told you no, I'm not coming back. The kids are fine here with my parents. They can concentrate on their studies without the distraction. We're not going back to your house, not now and not ever. This isn't going to work, and I'm done wasting time. I'm saying goodbye.
Wait, hold on. Please, just don't go through with the divorce. Please, give me one more chance. Let's talk without lawyers. We can sort this out ourselves. I'll do anything. Kara, please. Don't ignore me! Please! I'm begging you!
After that, Dan came to my family home, desperately trying to take me and the children back, but he was met with a furious confrontation from my parents. They shouted at him so loudly that he had no choice but to leave in a dejected manner, his head hung low. It was as though he had been completely defeated. At first I could see the stubbornness in his eyes. He wasn't ready to accept the reality of the situation, and his determination to control everything was evident. But my parents' harsh words and their no-nonsense attitude seemed to break him down. It wasn't just the argument at my parents' house that caused things to spiral out of control. During one of our later discussions, which was supposed to be calm and mediated with our lawyer, Dan completely lost his composure. His temper, which had always been unpredictable, flared up in an instant. He began yelling at the lawyer, something I never expected, and before anyone could intervene, he physically lunged toward them. The scene was chaos, people shouting, trying to pull him off, and the lawyer was clearly shaken. It didn't take long before the police arrived at the scene. Dan was arrested for his outburst and aggressive behavior, and they took him away, handcuffed. It was a surreal moment for me, one that I never imagined would unfold in this way. Looking back at it now, I can't even recognize the man I once married. He wasn't the person I fell in love with, nor was he the person I thought I knew. This man who once held such promise, the man who seemed to be thoughtful and kind-hearted, had completely unraveled. His true nature came out at the worst possible time, and the emotional and physiological toll it took on me was immense. I didn't want to believe it at first, but his actions left me with no choice but to accept that our relationship was beyond repair. After everything had calmed down, I realized that the best thing for me and the children was to go our separate ways. And so after a long and painful period of legal proceedings and strained discussions, we ended up divorcing. It was final, and I never saw him again. There was no reconciliation, no meeting in person to discuss things one last time. We just went our separate ways, no closure, just a bitter finality. For me, it felt like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders, but for him, I'm sure it was a completely different story. In all honesty, the hardest part of all of this wasn't the conflict with Dan. It wasn't even the tense legal battles or the emotional toll of dealing with everything on my own. The hardest part was what happened when I spoke to Dan's mother. She had always been kind to me, always supportive, and it pained me to see her in such a state. When I explained to her what had happened, she broke down in tears. She cried harder than I had ever seen her cry before, as though she had lost everything. She seemed so helpless, and I felt an overwhelming sense of guilt and sadness. Not for me, but for her. It was as if the divorce had taken something from her too, something that she couldn't control or stop. I never blamed her, not for a single moment. She was a kind woman, and she didn't deserve to be dragged into the mess her son had caused. But seeing her in that state made me realize just how much damage had been done, not only to me, but to the people around us. The ripples of the divorce reached further than I had anticipated. It wasn't just me and Dan who were affected. It extended to our families, friends, and even acquaintances. People who had no part in the conflict were caught in the middle, and it made me feel even more conflicted. I tried my best to console her during that moment, even though I was hurting myself. I told her that none of this was her fault and that I didn't blame her and that I didn't want her to feel guilty. I didn't want her to think that she had failed as a mother, but it didn't seem to comfort her. She kept crying, her face contorted with pain, as if she couldn't understand why things had ended the way they did. She kept asking me what went wrong, what happened to her son, and as much as I wanted to explain it to her, I didn't have the words. How could I explain to a mother that her son had changed in ways that I didn't recognize? How could I tell her that I had done everything I could to salvage the relationship, but that nothing worked? I wanted to tell her that Dan's behavior wasn't her fault, but in some ways, I felt like the fault was not just his, but all of ours. We had all contributed to the breakdown of our relationship in one way or another. I had stayed for longer than I should have, trying to hold on to something that wasn't there anymore. Dan had tried to force a reality that wasn't true, trying to control the situation and refusing to see the truth. And she, Dan's mother, had been in the middle, torn between supporting her son and trying to make sense of what was happening. I knew that she loved him and that she wanted the best for him, but sometimes love isn't enough. As I continued to speak with her, I tried to reassure her that she would get through this, that she still had people who cared about her and that she could move on from the pain too. But I could tell that the situation was weighing heavily on her. The idea that her son had turned out this way, that his actions had pushed us to this point, was too much for her to bear. I could see the sadness in her eyes, the heartbreak of a mother who felt like she had lost her child. Despite all of this, I knew that I had to move on for the sake of my own peace and the well-being of my children. I couldn't let myself get caught up in the pain of others, no matter how much I wanted to help or fix things. The relationship with Dan's family wasn't my responsibility. I had to focus on what was best for me and the children. And as much as I cared for his mother, I had to accept that the situation was out of my control. Over time, things began to settle. I continued to keep in touch with Dan's family, especially his mother, though the relationship was never quite the same. I would call her from time to time, especially when I felt like she needed someone to talk to. We would have video calls occasionally, just to catch up and make sure everything was okay. I didn't want to cut ties with her completely because I knew that she was a kind woman who had been caught in a difficult situation. We both understood that things would never go back to how they were, but we could still maintain some form of communication. As for Dan, I never saw him again. I heard through mutual acquaintances that he had been struggling to deal with everything that had happened, but I couldn't find it in myself to feel sorry for him. The man I once knew was gone, and all that was left was someone who had caused so much damage that it was impossible to repair. He would have to deal with the consequences of his actions on his own, and I was no longer part of that equation. In the end, life went on. I found my own path, and though the scars of the past would always be there, I knew that I had done what I needed to do. And as for Dan's family, I still cared for them. But I had learned that sometimes you have to let go of things, no matter how painful. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
I've just arrived at the hotel. It's surprisingly spacious and feels really nice. Staying here for 2 nights and 3 days feels like such a luxurious treat.
You must be tired after all that traveling. Is the room really that good?
Yeah, it's honestly amazing. There's even a small kitchen in the room. It's so well equipped that I think I could even cook something simple here if I wanted to. Honestly, this doesn't feel like a work trip. It feels more like a mini vacation.
That sounds incredible. Now I'm wishing I had come along with you on this business trip.
I'll bring you here next time when we plan an actual vacation together. For now, I'll just do my best over the next 2 nights and 3 days. But to be honest, I'm already missing your cooking. 3 days without eating your food feels like forever.
You're exaggerating, but it's sweet of you to say that. When you come back, I'll make your favorite dish for you to celebrate your return. Even though it's only 3 days, make sure you're taking good care of yourself, okay? Don't skip meals and make sure to eat something balanced and healthy.
Don't worry, I've got it covered. You take care of yourself too, all right? Make sure you don't catch a cold and be careful about everything, especially accidents.
Yes, I'll be careful. Don't overthink things and just focus on your work there.
All right then, I'm heading out to grab something to eat.
All right, take care and enjoy your meal.
Finally, I managed to get out of the house. After being under her constant nagging, it feels so good to breathe freely again. I'll leave the hotel room key unlocked for you, so just come right in when you arrive. Honestly, my clueless wife hasn't noticed a single thing yet. It's absolutely hilarious. She keeps sending me these take care of yourself and make sure you eat messages, like she's my mom or something. Seriously, who does that? She's such a boring old hag. I can't even see her as a woman anymore, not since years ago. I wish we could hurry up and stop having to sneak around like this. I want us to be able to enjoy ourselves openly without worrying about her at all. But for now, just get here quickly. I've been waiting all day for this. Let's have an amazing time tonight.
Wait, what?
Oh, crap! No, wait! I sent that by mistake! Please, don't think about it. Just forget I ever sent it, okay?
Forget it. Are you serious? How could I possibly forget this? What is this? What are you talking about? Am I the stupid wife you mentioned? Who was this message actually for? Tell me the truth, David.
No, it's nothing like that. It was just a joke. Yeah, just a stupid joke between friends. I sent it to you by mistake, and I didn't mean a single word of it.
A joke? A joke about calling me stupid, about calling me an old hag? And you say you don't see me as a woman anymore? Don't insult my intelligence. Tell me, who were you trying to send this to?
It's not what you think. It's just someone I know from school, an old friend, that's all. We were just messing around. I swear it's nothing serious.
An old friend? And you invited this old friend to your hotel room? You told this person you couldn't wait to have fun with them? David, just admit it. You're cheating on me, aren't you?
What? No way! Of course not! I'd never cheat on you. How could you even think that?
How could I not think that, David? This message wasn't meant for me, and it's obvious who it's meant for. You're talking about sneaking around behind my back, calling me names, and planning a secret rendezvous. This isn't a joke.
No, you're misunderstanding everything. I love you, okay? You're the best wife anyone could ask for. Why would I throw away everything we have for someone else?
Do you really think I'm going to fall for that? If you're innocent, you wouldn't mind if I checked your phone, right? Let me see your messages, David.
I can't do that. All right, fine. You win. I'll tell you the truth. Yes, I've been seeing someone else.
I knew it. But let's not sugarcoat this. You're not seeing someone. You're cheating. Don't try to make it sound better than it is.
I know. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean for things to get this far.
Who is she? How long has this been going on?
We met at a work party a few months ago. It was just a casual thing at first. She's someone my coworker introduced me to. We've only been involved for about 2 months. Before that, I swear it was completely innocent.
A work party? Do you mean a mixer? You went to a mixer without telling me? And now you're trying to convince me it was all innocent at first. Don't make excuses, David.
I know I messed up, but it's not what you think. I swear she doesn't mean anything to me. You're the one I truly love.
Stop it. You've been bad-mouthing me to her and laughing about it together, haven't you? And now you want to tell me I'm the one you love? Do you think I'm stupid?
No, I don't think that at all. I admit I made a mistake and I regret it. But can't we just move past this? Everyone complains about their spouse sometimes.
Complaining about your spouse is one thing, David. Using those complaints to flirt with your mistress is completely different. You keep saying you're sorry, but your actions show otherwise.
I'm sorry. I mean it this time. I'll never do it again, I promise. No more cheating, no more bad-mouthing you. I'll change. But if you could forgive me, there's one thing I'd like to ask.
What could you possibly ask for right now?
Could we consider letting her be my second wife?
Excuse me?
Like a side wife, you know? I'd still prioritize you, of course. You'd always be my number one. I just want to split my love between you and her. She's great at housework, too. I think she could even help you out around the house. Think about it. If we ever had kids, wouldn't it be great to have extra support?
Have you completely lost your mind? A side wife? What century do you think this is? And you seriously think you're capable of handling 2 wives?
Of course I can handle it. Don't insult me like that. You've just wounded my pride as a man. You know what? I've had enough. I want a divorce.
You want a divorce because your pride is hurt? Do you even realize how much you've hurt me?
It's different for men and women. You're always looking down on me. I'm done with this. I'll divorce you and marry her instead.
Fine, if that's what you want, then I'm done too. Let's get this over with quickly. You'll pay what you owe and I'll move on with my life.
Fine. I'll pay you whatever you want. I don't care about the money. It's just pocket change to me.
You said it. No takebacks later. Don't think I'll go easy on you.
Whatever, do what you want. You know what? I'm done trying to explain myself to you. You're just impossible to talk to.
Oh, I'm impossible? Coming from the man who just admitted to cheating on me and then had the nerve to ask if he could keep both me and his mistress? Do you even hear yourself, David?
I was trying to be honest. Most guys wouldn't even admit they were wrong. I came clean because I respect you enough to tell you the truth.
Respect me? You've disrespected me in every possible way. Cheating, lying, bad-mouthing me, and then trying to justify it all like you've done nothing wrong. That's not respect, David. That's just arrogance.
Arrogance? I've been the one holding this family together for years. Do you even realize how much pressure I'm under? You don't see what it's like at work, having to be the breadwinner while you're at home complaining about everything I do.
Complaining? Is that what you call asking for basic decency and partnership? I work hard too, David, even if it's not in an office. Or have you forgotten that this house doesn't run itself?
Oh, please, don't give me that. You have it easy compared to me.
Easy, is that what you think? Managing everything at home while dealing with your disrespect is easy? Do you even know what it feels like to be constantly belittled by the person who is supposed to love and support you?
And do you know what it's like to feel unappreciated no matter how much I provide? You think it's fun coming home to someone who always has something to criticize? Maybe if you'd show me a little more affection, I wouldn't have looked elsewhere.
Unbelievable. So now it's my fault you cheated. You're blaming me for your inability to stay faithful?
I'm just saying that relationships are a two-way street. You weren't exactly the perfect wife, you know.
Oh, I'm far from perfect, but at least I didn't betray you. I didn't go behind your back, disrespect our vows, or drag your name through the mud. I had my faults, but I was loyal. Can you say the same?
Look, I already said I was sorry. What more do you want from me? Blood?
What I wanted was a husband who respected me enough not to cheat, but clearly that was too much to ask.
Fine, you've made your point. I screwed up, but we can't undo the past. We can only move forward.
Move forward with you after everything you've done? That is not moving forward. That is setting myself up for more pain.
You don't even want to try to rebuild what we had?
What we had? David, what we had is gone. You destroyed it the moment you decided I wasn't enough for you. I'm not going to listen to what you have to say anymore, David. I'll get in touch with you again later, with a lawyer.
Audrey, I was completely wrong. Everything is my fault. I'm so sorry. And I'm reflecting deeply on what I've done. Please forgive me.
Oh, look who's suddenly full of regrets. What happened to your confidence? It hasn't even been a week since our divorce was finalized.
I tried to propose to her, you know, the woman I was seeing. I thought now that I'm divorced, we could get married, but she told me I wasn't the kind of man she could imagine having a good marriage with. She said dating was fine, but marriage? Absolutely not. Then she dumped me on the spot. What the hell is wrong with her?
Honestly, what did you expect? No self-respecting woman would marry a man she knows is a cheater. She probably realized if you cheated on me, your wife, you'd eventually cheat on her too.
That's not even the worst part. My affair got exposed at work. They found out about everything. Me bringing her to my hotel room during business trips, charging our meals to the company, using the company car to take her to hotels, even borrowing company funds to buy her gifts. Somehow all of it came out. Now they're talking about firing me. On top of that, they might sue me for damages. My whole career is in shambles.
Wow, you really outdid yourself. Did you even try to cover your tracks? Company cars have tracking systems and expense reports get audited. You must have left a mountain of evidence.
It's worse than you think. You know how small my industry is. News travels fast, and now everyone knows about my affair. My reputation is ruined. I can't get a job at any of the competitor companies. If I switch industries, I'll have to start over completely. My salary will plummet, and I won't be able to support myself. What am I supposed to do?
Oh dear, poor you. By the way, I'm the one who told your company.
What? You did this? Why the hell would you do that?
I needed evidence of your affair for the divorce proceeding, so I contacted your former company. Turns out I didn't even need most of the evidence they provided. We got divorced so quickly it wasn't necessary.
You've ruined my life! Do you even understand what you've done? If I lose my job, I can't pay the alimony in installments. Is that what you want?
Oh, I'm perfectly fine with that. I already got plenty from the asset division, and I'm not relying on your alimony to survive. Unlike you, I have a stable income and don't need to mooch off anyone.
Audrey, please, let's start over. If I can tell my company we've reconciled, maybe they'll reconsider firing me.
Reconciled? After everything you did? You've got some nerve asking me that now.
I know I messed up, but I've realized something. Losing you made me see how much I truly love you. That other woman, she manipulated me. Please, Audrey, give me one more chance. I swear I'll never cheat again.
You swore you'd love and cherish me when we got married, remember? You already broke that promise. Why should I believe you now?
Because I mean it this time. I'll prove it to you. I'll do anything you ask.
Anything, huh? Okay then, how about this? Disappear from my life forever.
No, Audrey, please, be reasonable. I'll lose my company housing soon, and no landlord will rent to me without a job. I'll end up homeless. Just let me stay with you until I can get back on my feet.
Absolutely not. Your problems are no longer my concern, and if you keep bothering me, I'll block you.
Wait! Please, I'll do anything. Just don't abandon me like this.
Oh, so annoying. Blocking you now. By the way, I have a lunch date with friends. I'm busy, so don't ever contact me again. Goodbye.
Wait! Don't leave me! Audrey, please don't leave me like this.
Goodbye, David. After that, David tried various ways to make contact with me. He would lie in wait trying to ambush me whenever he thought I'd be somewhere. He sent me letters, packages, and even small personal items. It seemed like he was desperate to get my attention, though it was clear he was doing so with a mix of obsession and frustration. At first, I was a bit unsure about what to do. I didn't want to overreact, but at the same time, there was something unsettling about how persistent he was. It felt like he was crossing boundaries in ways I couldn't ignore. So after considering it for a while, I made the decision to contact the police. I didn't want to escalate things unnecessarily, but the situation had gotten to a point where I felt I had no other option. I needed to feel safe again. The police took my complaint seriously, and they were able to track down David. They gave him a stern warning, explaining that his actions were not only intrusive, but could also lead to legal consequences if he continued down that path. It seemed that the warning had the desired effect, as David, who had been so bold before, became noticeably more subdued after that. He stopped showing up at places I frequented and seemed to back off in terms of direct contact. There was an eerie silence where he had once been so persistent. I don't know if he was genuinely scared by the warning or if he simply realized he couldn't keep pushing things further without facing consequences. Regardless, I felt a sense of relief, even though I knew it might not be the end of it. It wasn't long before I heard some unsettling news about David's situation. Apparently, he had been let go from his job. It was unclear whether his behavior had influenced this decision, but the timing was suspiciously coincidental. I had no idea what had been going on at his workplace, but I could only imagine how his obsession might have affected his professional life. If he couldn't maintain his composure and professionalism with me, it was entirely possible that his behavior had been equally erratic in other aspects of his life as well. Losing his job had a severe impact on David. He had also lived in a company-provided apartment. When he was dismissed from his position, it seems like he was also kicked out of the company housing. The reality of his situation must have hit him hard, no longer employed and with no place to stay. David found himself in a dire position. Without a steady income or place to live, he became increasingly isolated. From what I heard later, David had become one of the many people who struggle to find housing, even in the short term. He became what's often referred to as a net cafe refugee. For those unfamiliar with the term, a net cafe refugee is someone who, due to financial difficulties or lack of permanent housing, ends up spending their nights at internet cafes. These establishments typically offer private booths with computers, and many are open 24/7. Some of them even have showers and offer affordable packages for those looking for a place to sleep temporarily. It's a tough and frankly grim situation for anyone to find themselves in, and I couldn't help but feel a small sense of pity for him. While I was also grateful that he wasn't a constant presence in my life anymore, I also couldn't deny the harsh reality that he was now living through. The idea that David, who once seemed to have everything under control and who had been so intent on controlling and manipulating his relationship with me, had now become a person without a job, without a home, was jarring. His obsession with me, which had once felt so overpowering and suffocating, had ultimately contributed to his downfall. He had pushed everything too far, and now he was left with the consequences of his actions. In a way, it was almost poetic. The very thing he had done in an attempt to keep me within his reach had instead led to his complete isolation. He had thought that if he could just make contact with me one more time, if he could just get me to acknowledge him, everything would somehow fall into place for him. But instead, it had all unraveled. Now he was living on the fringes of society, surrounded by strangers in a place that wasn't his home, with nothing but his own choices to blame. Despite the complexity of the situation, I couldn't afford to dwell on David's fate. While his actions had disrupted my life in unsettling ways, I had my own path to follow. I had to focus on my work, my friends, and the life I was trying to rebuild after everything that had happened. I couldn't let myself get caught up in what was happening to him, even if it was partly a consequence of his own making. But it's hard not to wonder how things could have turned out differently if David had just respected the boundaries I had set from the beginning. If he had accepted the end of our relationship and moved on, perhaps he wouldn't have found himself in such a devastating position. Instead, his refusal to let go, his relentless pursuit of a connection that was no longer there, had left him with nothing. As time passed, I occasionally thought back to those dark days when I felt constantly on edge, never knowing if David would show up out of nowhere or send another strange letter. The anxiety had become overwhelming at times, but now I could look back with some distance and reflect on the fact that, despite everything, I had made it through. I had taken control of the situation, sought help when I needed it, and managed to regain my sense of safety. For David, on the other hand, the journey was much more uncertain. The future was no longer in his hands, and he was left to face the harsh consequences of his obsession. It's a tragic story, one of a man who lost his way, consumed by his fixation on someone who was never going to be a part of his life the way he had imagined. And in the end, it was his obsession that led him to lose everything he once had. Hey, Denise, do you have a minute? I need to ask you something really important.
Huh? Lori, it's been forever since I heard from you. What is it? You only contact me out of the blue like this when something big is going on. What's going on?
I know. I should have reached out sooner, and I do feel guilty about that. But this is really important, and I need your help. Please, just listen to what I have to say.
All right, I'm listening. But let's be clear, Lori, whatever you need, I'm not sure I can help with. I've had enough of these things coming up out of nowhere. But go ahead. What's so important that you needed to get in touch now?
Well, to get straight to the point, Jack and I are getting a divorce.
Wait, what? Divorce?
But you guys seemed fine. I mean, from the outside, everything seemed all right. How did this come about? I know. It seems like everything was fine, but really, it wasn't. The thing is, both Jack and I agreed on it. We're both in agreement that it's the right thing for us. The issue now is Roger and his custody. Jack refuses to give up custody of Roger, and that's where things are getting complicated. I can't let this happen. I have to make sure I get him.
Roger's custody? Wow, that's a big deal. I mean, I'm not surprised, I guess, but, well, it's been hard for both of you. But really, Lori, you're asking for my help with this? You want me to intervene in custody? Do you honestly think I can help in this situation?
Please, Denise, you're the only one I can turn to. I've tried everything else, but Jack won't listen to me, and I'm scared he's going to win this. I need your help convincing him just to get him to see things from my perspective. If you can just help me with that, I'll do anything. Please, I can't lose Roger. You know how much he means to me.
Lori, I don't know about this. I'm not sure I can just get involved in this. Custody is a huge thing, and I really don't think it's as simple as you're making it out to be. I mean, come on. This is Roger we're talking about. You haven't been around much for him, have you? You know, if I think about it, you've hardly been involved in his life lately.
What are you talking about? I've been busy, sure, but that doesn't mean I haven't cared for him. I send money every month. I do what I can, don't you see? It's just that things have been so hectic with work. And you know Jack doesn't help either. I've been stuck in this situation where I have to be the one to figure it all out. I am doing the best I can.
You're doing your best? Lori, honestly, if you were doing your best, would you really leave him with us all the time? You barely even visit him. And you're right, Jack doesn't always help, but that doesn't mean it's right to let someone else step in like this. You've left Roger with us since daycare. Do you know how that looks? You have to understand how that affects him.
I didn't think about it like that. But it's just, things have been so difficult lately. I've been running around trying to get things done. It's been overwhelming. Jack is hardly around. I can't even catch a break. So yes, I've left Roger with you guys, but I've always made sure he's taken care of.
Lori, let me be honest. You send money, yes, but that's not enough. You don't see your son, and you barely make any effort to change that. I understand that work is tough, but Roger isn't just some accessory you can leave behind. And let's be real here. You've had months, even years to put things in order. You haven't prioritized him, and now you expect me to help you just take him away from the life he's known? It's not that simple.
What are you saying? Are you telling me I don't care about my son? How can you say that? He's my child. Of course I care. Don't act like you understand how hard this is for me. It's easy for you to judge me from the outside, but you have no idea what it's like to be in my shoes.
Lori, don't take this the wrong way, but I've seen the reality of the situation. You talk about caring, but actions speak louder than words. If you cared, you would have made more time for Roger no matter what. Jack may be absent, but so have you. You can't just come to me now and expect me to fix everything. You've left me and my family to pick up the pieces for too long.
I know I've messed up, okay? I get it, but I'm asking for your help now. Just help me convince Jack to let me have custody. Please, Denise, I'll make it worth your while. I'm not asking for much. All I need you to do is to speak to him. Help me convince him that Roger should be with me. Isn't that something you can do?
You think I can just talk to Jack and convince him to change his mind just like that? You've been absent for so long, and now you expect me to fix this in one conversation? You have had so many chances to be there for Roger, but now you want to take him from the only stability he's had? I don't think you realize what you're asking me to do.
I understand it's not easy, but Denise, don't you care about Roger's future? I need to have custody for his sake and mine. If I don't, I won't be able to move on. I need this to move forward in my life. If Jack doesn't let me, I'm stuck. I need your help to make sure he sees that it's what's best for Roger.
Lori, let me ask you this. Do you even know what's best for Roger? You think custody is the answer, but what about his emotional well-being? How do you think he'll feel being ripped away from his home, his friends, the only family he knows?
You want to make this about you, but it's not. This is about Roger's life, and you're asking me to turn it upside down for you. I'm not trying to hurt him. I just want what's best for him, Denise. I can't do this without your help. Please, you have to understand. I need to be the one to take care of him. If Jack keeps custody, I'll lose everything. I'll be financially stuck, emotionally stuck. This isn't just about me. This is about our future. I get that you're in a tough spot, but you can't expect me to just hand over my responsibility to you. You can't make this decision alone. It's not just about custody. It's about Roger's happiness. If you're not here for him now, why should I believe you'll be there for him in the future? Because I will. I'll change everything. I'll do whatever it takes to make this work. I can't lose him, Denise. Please. Lori, this isn't just about what you want. You need to think about Roger and his future. What happens when you get custody? Can you really handle everything by yourself? Yes, I can. I've been through a lot already. I just need your help to make it happen. I'm sorry, but I don't think I can help you with this. I need to think about what's best for Roger, not just what's easiest for you. If you really care about him, you'll figure out another way. So you're just going to stand by and watch me lose everything? You can't do this to me, Denise. You don't understand. If I don't get custody, my life is over. I won't be able to move on. I won't be able to live. I understand that you're struggling, but I can't just give in to pressure. I'm thinking about Roger's future, and I have to do what's best for him. I won't be a part of something that could hurt him in the long run. You have to face the reality of the situation. Wait, please don't tell Jack. Please, don't make this worse. I'll do anything. Just don't send him those screenshots. Please, I'm begging you. It's too late for apologies now. You had a chance to make things right, and you didn't take it. I'll talk to Jack, and we'll figure this out for Roger's sake. You can't just walk away from this. It's time to be responsible. Denise, please, I don't know what else to say. You've got to understand how much this means to me. I don't want to be a bad mother. I never meant to be distant, but life just got in the way. You know what it's like, right? You've been so busy with your own family, too. And Jack, he's barely around anymore. I've been fighting to keep everything afloat by myself. I'm only asking for a little help from you, just a little. Lori, I do understand being busy, but that's not what I'm saying here. You say you're fighting, but you haven't fought for Roger. Not the way a mother should. You can't just show up after all this time asking me to put him in your arms and as though you've been there all along. It doesn't work like that. It's not just about helping you. This isn't a favor. You've been absent, and now you want me to undo everything just because you've decided you finally want him back? It doesn't make sense. I get it. Okay, I understand how you feel. I've been absent, but I've never stopped thinking about him. I don't think you realize the toll it's taken on me. Every day, I feel like I'm suffocating. I can't stand seeing Jack with him, taking all the moments I should have had with him. I'm not asking you to just hand him over. I want you to understand that I can make things right if I get the chance. You think you can make things right? You've been absent for so long, Lori. You left him with us when he needed you the most. And I get it, work, life, everything piling up, but you need to understand that a child can't just be left in the background. Roger's been through so much already. How do you think he's going to feel when you suddenly swoop in and demand custody like nothing happened? How do you think I feel watching this all unfold? You don't think I've thought about this a million times? Every day I'm away from him, it eats at me. But what do you want me to do? I can't just stop everything and come running to him. I have a job, responsibilities. I don't have the luxury of being at his side every second. But I can be there for him now. I can make up for the time I lost. And that's where I'm struggling, Lori. You keep saying you'll make up for lost time, but how do you actually do that? Time doesn't just come back. You can't rewind and undo what you've missed. Roger's not a doll you can just pick up and continue playing with. He's a little boy who's had his own life, his own needs, and for better or worse, he's been growing up without you. How can you fix all of that in one fell swoop? How can you prove that you're capable of giving him what he needs now? I can prove it. I can show him that I'm here. I'll take time off work. I'll hire help if I have to. I can't do it alone, but I'll make sure he's okay. He deserves to have a mother who's there for him every step of the way. I know Jack's been doing his part, but I'm his mother, Denise. Why can't you see that? I'm the one who gave birth to him. He is my son. I should be the one raising him. It's not that simple, Lori. Yes, you gave birth to him, but being a mother is about more than just biological ties. It's about presence. It's about support. It's about consistency. And Roger has been getting that from Jake, from my family, from all of us. He's been living with us for so long now that it's impossible to ignore the bond he's formed with us. You can't just waltz in and claim him now as if nothing has changed. This isn't just about what you want. It's about what's best for Roger. You think I'm just being selfish? Is that it? You think I don't care about what's best for him? I am doing this for him, for his future. I need this, Denise. Without Roger, I don't have a future. I'll be a failure in his eyes. I'll lose everything I've worked for. I can't go back to a life where I am nothing more than a visitor in his world. And if Jack gets custody, that's exactly what I'll be. Well, that's too bad, Lori, but there's no use crying to me about all of that anymore. I have to get going now since it's time for the kids to go to bed. If you have anything else to say, wait for Jack's lawyer to get in touch with you. And if you try contacting me any more about this, I will block your phone number. Denise, no! After that, Lori fought for Roger's custody through a lengthy court battle, hoping to regain her parental rights. However, despite her efforts, she suffered a crushing defeat in court. The judge ruled against her, and in the end, she was ordered to pay damages. On top of that, her access to Roger was severely restricted. It was decided that she could only see him 2 or 3 times a month, a far cry from the regular visits she had hoped for. Despite this setback, Lori refused to give up. She continued to try to assert her presence in Roger's life. She showed up at my house numerous times, insisting on seeing him, sometimes even trying to take him away without permission. Each time I had to step in and defend our boundaries. There were moments when I had to protect Roger from her attempts to forcibly take him, and I called the police several times to ensure the situation didn't escalate further. It was a difficult and exhausting period for all of us. At times I found myself questioning how far Lori would go to get what she wanted, and the constant tension in the air was draining. I knew that Roger needed stability, and I couldn't allow his life to be disrupted by someone who had shown such a disregard for his well-being. My husband and I did our best to maintain a calm and safe environment, but it was not easy when Lori's actions constantly threatened that peace. After several incidents, Lori eventually seemed to realize that her aggressive approach was getting her nowhere. The repeated confrontations with the police, the legal consequences of her actions, and the mounting pressure seemed to have a sobering effect on her. Slowly but surely, she stopped showing up. We didn't hear from her nearly as much, and eventually she seemed to disappear entirely. It was a relief, though I couldn't help but wonder if it was just a temporary pause or if she had truly given up. In the meantime, Roger was adjusting to the new reality. The situation had been incredibly stressful for him as well. He was torn between his biological mother, who he still loved and wanted to be close to, and the life he had with us, which had become his new normal. My husband and I, along with Jack and my in-laws, discussed what was best for Roger moving forward. We all agreed that it was important for him to have a stable and loving environment, one where he felt secure and valued. After a lot of thoughtful discussion, it was decided that Roger would continue to live with us, just as he had been. We promised to take care of him with love and dedication, ensuring that he had everything he needed to grow up in a safe and supportive home. This decision was not made lightly, but we all believed it was the right thing for him. It was clear that Lori's behavior had caused enough disruption and confusion, and it was essential for Roger to feel that he had a solid foundation. The support of my husband, Jack, and my in-laws was crucial during this time. They stood by us as we navigated the complexities of this situation. Jack, in particular, had been an incredible source of strength. He was understanding and patient with Roger, providing the emotional support that he needed without pushing him too hard. He had always been a good father figure to Roger, and now, more than ever, it was clear that Roger needed that kind of stability. I also made sure to maintain a sense of consistency in Roger's life. I continued to encourage him to build friendships, to engage in activities that made him happy, and to feel empowered by the love and care he received from our family. It wasn't always easy, as there were moments where Roger would express confusion or frustration about his situation. But we did our best to assure him that he was loved and supported no matter what. In the months that followed, we watched as Roger slowly adapted to the changes in his life. He started to find comfort in the routine we had established for him. We continued to provide him with emotional support, reinforcing the idea that his feelings were valid and that he didn't have to choose between his biological mother and us. He could have both in different ways, but his primary home, his place of safety, would always be with us. Though Lori had tried so hard to disrupt our family, in the end her actions only strengthened the bond between us. The love and commitment we showed to Roger, the way we stood by him when things got tough, helped him realize that we were the ones who truly cared for him. We had always put his well-being first, and that's what mattered most.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.